Today I'm gathering together supplies to do DIY homemade Christmas ornaments. I started to think about it, and even though I've had 3 cats and a toddler for multiple years, so already high risk for Christmas tree, I am at like the peak of bad news Christmas tree time, because Sam is walking and climbing, but he just is not old enough to like listen to me even a little bit when it comes to things like, please do not knock over the Christmas tree. I'm at like having 10 kittens point of danger for the Christmas tree. And because of that, I had to come up with some ideas of how to get some new ornaments, because all my other ornaments are glass, super delicate, like hand-blown glass balls, and I know that even in one season, Sam's gonna destroy like every single one of them. So I had to come up with something that's gonna be able to stand against the baby coming and knocking over the tree multiple times, and I can't risk all my glass ornaments. So I think I came up with a pretty good list of ideas. Because we're trying to have a more sustainable Christmas this year, the last thing I was gonna do is go out and buy fresh ornaments that are, you know, plastic or something that he's not gonna knock over. That's the complete opposite of the whole goal that I'm going here of trying to do things in a little bit more of a, you know, sustainable and eco-friendly, waste-free way. I knew I could go to the dollar store and, you know, like spend 20 bucks and get everything for the tree for this year. But, you know, what was going to happen to it at the end? I was going to have garlands, plastic garlands that just get chucked into the garbage, or I can try to give to a thrift store come January 1st when I pull them off the tree and go and, I'm not gonna put this away, I'm gonna use my other stuff next year. And what's the thrift store gonna do with it? They don't want to hold on to it till next Christmas necessarily. They're gonna be just as likely to want to throw it in the garbage as I personally am. So I think I've come up with a pretty good list of solutions. Like, looking at the stuff kind of gathered together here, I'm pretty excited about what my tree is gonna look like. I'm not saying that I'm gonna give up on my glass ornaments, but I am excited to start putting this all together, and maybe it'll get you inspired too. As I started looking around the house, I realized there's a lot of stuff that could make really nice and cute Christmas decorations. You could go as simple as just, you know, something made out of paper. This is just, I folded it flat, but you could use some origami skills to make up something cute out of a nice Christmas wrapping paper. Make some stars out of tin foil. With the paper, it's really your imagination that's gonna limit you. And if you're like me, I actually have a couple different rolls of wrapping paper, so that kind of will provide all the different patterns that I need. Though there is something special about the just pure white that you could get out of just going into your recycling bin and finding some papers that you're not going to be using. Another simple, no effort idea that I came up with is if you have any silk scarves, you know, something like this would make a really nice garland on the tree. And, you know, like if you have a bunch of them, you can just kind of drape them around the tree, and it could add a lot of just simple drama. Leah's getting older, and she's starting to get to that age where she's super interested in little TV character type things. She loves Paw Patrol, and over the years she's been gifted little figurines as Christmas gifts. We walked by an aisle of decorations, and she was so excited to see the little licensed figurine Christmas ornaments, but that's like the last thing I'd ever want to buy. I know that even though she loves Paw Patrol this year and she did last year, it doesn't mean it's going to be something that she's going to be excited about, and I'm most definitely not excited about the idea of having Paw Patrol Christmas decorations, you know, like 5 years from now. But how simple would it be to just tie some string onto her characters that she already has and then place them in the tree? I'm not convinced that I'm going to be doing that this year, just because I'm sure Sam, as soon as he sees the toys on the tree, is just going to go directly for them and try to rip them off. But, you know, kind of a great solution if you're like me and that's not something that you want to buy and keep for, you know, the rest of your life, some Paw Patrol Christmas ornaments. It's a way of giving them that luxury of seeing their favorite characters on the tree without really tying yourself down to having to have that for a long time, or buying it and then needing to get rid of it in a couple of years. I was also thinking pretty much any of their little toys would work well. You know, putting an oversized teddy bear on the tree, at least for our tree, because we don't go overboard with it, is going to be a little bit too much. But I have lots of little soft teddies that would be super easy to, you know, run a string through their body that can come off later. Or even a little cat toy that has that same kind of jingle bell sound, something that, you know, we're going to be using again as a cat toy after the season's over, but it can hang on the tree and, you know, give me a little warning when someone's trying to pull everything down. Cats and baby. Other little figurines, Leah's pig. Anything like this would be so simple to string onto a little piece of thread loop to hang on the tree, or a little wire holder. Like I said, if you're like me, children's items isn't something that you're going to want to be having on your Christmas tree in the years to come. But, you know, sometimes it's nice to indulge them. So this is a way that we could have a Christmas where it's toys on the tree, but I don't have to go out and buy an entire collection of toy Christmas ornaments. It's a great way to reuse them, and, you know, anything that you don't have to buy is also something you don't have to store until next year. So, you know, so far all of this stuff is something that isn't going to have to be put somewhere into storage. It's really going to keep the after Christmas clutter down. One of the ideas I've actually been putting some effort into is using natural ingredients to create some Christmas decorations. I dehydrated up some orange slices, which end up making just a really pretty little item, and these can either be used as just a single drop on the tree, or what I'm planning on using them for is to create a garland that I can hang on the wall. In my neighborhood, there's pine cones everywhere. Leah and I just picked these up on the way home from a walk. We just kind of grabbed a couple handfuls, but, you know, stuff like this, it can get put onto a string, it can get put onto a garland, like I said, but at the same time, you could just grab a bowl and put out a dish of them, and it's just a super simple decoration. One thing to consider if you're going to use natural ingredients like this, one of the things that I like best about this is when I'm finished with it, I can just throw it into the compost. This stuff isn't anything that I need to worry about saving for next year, and it also doesn't have to go into the trash. It's gonna completely decompose. So when thinking of what you're gonna use to string a garland or to hang the decorations themselves, you can get cotton thread, or you can get a polyester thread. If you get a cotton thread, it's gonna completely compost as well. So if you're going out and you're purchasing something to string this, make sure to keep an eye out for that cotton. I sew, so I have a variety of stuff that I had to pick from, and it was something that I was glad I thought of, just because I know it's going to make it so much easier to clean this up at the end. Ian won't be yelling at me that I'm throwing string into the compost, because it'll be gone in no time. As I talked about when I said I was going to start doing the Christmas stuff, you know, we're really trying to think of ways to kind of just scale back the consumerism, scale back the garbage and the waste, and just try to make our Christmas a little bit more sustainable than it has been in the past. Think of ways that, you know, we can celebrate the holidays without it needing to, you know, really be a burden. As I said, I don't really want to use my glass decorations this year because they'll get broken. And that's not only because I really like them, because I do, but it's also knowing that they're gonna be at so much danger this year. If I use them anyways and just allowed them to get broken, in a way that would be wasteful. You know, I can do these things this year when, you know, my tree is gonna be at the highest risk of serious damage, and that can make it so that these decorations that I have can last for, you know, more and more years. Using items that you already have to celebrate is kind of, you know, the perfect way to make the festivities a little bit more sustainable. It's fun to decorate for the season, and it's fun to celebrate moments like this. And you know, it's not just fun for me, it's fun for the kids. And you know, having Leah involved, making ornaments with me, making other things around the holidays, that is really making the holidays more special for her too. And her experience that way, you know, really highlights for me the fact that the holidays aren't about the consumerist items. They're about the experiences. You know, when you think back to being a child and the magic of Christmas, it wasn't the mountain of toys that you maybe got. It wasn't that a man broke into your house and gave you presents. You know, it was more just that time of year felt special. And for me personally, a lot of that specialness was in the decorations. It was, you know, in my house, we didn't decorate throughout the year. It wasn't like, oh, we're putting out the fall, like corn husks and pumpkins. It was like Christmas was the one time when we put up this decor that just came out of nowhere, and then it disappeared, and it was back to just, you know, the bar that it was all year. Christmas was about, you know, all these treats, all these things that you didn't get to do the rest of the year. And, you know, those were mostly experiences. And so I'm looking forward to giving my kids that experience too, of just, you know, a feeling of the holidays. And I really feel like this sustainable stuff is gonna do it. So do you guys have any other tricks for homemade ornaments that I haven't thought of here? I'd love to have some more ideas. We're gonna start putting up the tree soon, so gotta get a bunch of decorations ready, so we're ready to go. And if any of these ornament ideas are something you've never thought of before, give me a thumbs up just so I know if I'm being creative or not. I'm excited to put together this garland. I think it's gonna look really great, and that's probably also the next video I'm gonna make. So if you want to see how that turns out, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already joined us. And I'll see you guys again.